Hello class, my name is Matthew Medve and this is our group, the Planeteers 9.2 presentation of our group portfolio project. Our group members for this project include myself, Natasha, David, Dossie, and Alyssa. And we'll begin now. All right, this slide lists the main areas of the group portfolio, which includes the cover letter, executive summary, our group project submissions by title, as you can see on the slide, a group reflection, and individual member statements. So for our cover letter, to summarize this instead of reading verbatim, it's very important to understand policy, ethics, and legal topics relating to aviation and aerospace sustainability. Our knowledge was expanded in these areas over the course of this term through our various assignments and especially our group assignments to support our learning objectives. So for our executive summary, it's detailed that our group portfolio project consists of 5 summarized group assignments that the team accomplished throughout the term. Course learning objectives related to these assignments included learning objectives 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The other learning objectives were reinforced by other assignments completed, like case studies, debates, and discussion topics. All right, so David authored this slide. In our first group exercise, the Planeteers delved into topics associated with industry associations and environmental standards. In particular, our assignment was to identify trade or industry associations that look after the legislative and regulatory interests. From there, we were able to describe one specific legislative or regulatory topic in which each identified association is or has been recently been involved on behalf of its members. So we chose aircraft manufacturers and suppliers along with aviation fuel suppliers. For the aircraft manufacturers, we discovered that the Aerospace Industries Association, also referred to as the AIA, is the main association that oversees this part of the industry in the United States. It has over 340 members of various sizes. In terms of initiations, one of the main ones that the AIA has undertaken has been cybersecurity. As we've all learned, this poses a huge risk for most organizations, as most all business is conducted online. So, in addition to an organization's finances, theft of intellectual property, employee and customer identities, and commercial plans can all be at risk if a robust cybersecurity program is not in place. The Commercial Aviation Alternative Fuel Initiative, or CAFI, is a 1,500 member organization focused on promoting the use and availability of alternative sustainable aviation fuels within the industry. Their main objective is to cultivate the further development of these fuel options that are comparable to the safety and cost of conventional jet fuels while promoting fuel efficiency, energy security, and other environmental advantages. There were several course learning objectives and module objectives applied during this assignment. Identifying specific laws like the Sustainable Aviation Fuels Act was helpful in understanding what's being done at the legislative level to promote and govern these fuels, which supports learning objective 6. Additionally, module objectives 4 and 5 are reinforced while completing this group assignment. All right, I authored this slide. Our second group assignment detailed the Dauphin Island scenario. Learning objective for this course applicable to the Dauphin Island scenario include 1 and 8 displayed on this slide, as well as the module outcomes displayed. Applicable federal environmental laws reviewed in this assignment that support furthering our understanding of learning objective 1. Applicable to these include the National Environmental Policy Act, the Beaches Environmental Assessment and Coastal Health Act, the Clean Air Act, the Noise Control Act, the Endangered Species Act, and the Comprehensive Environmental Response and Compensation and Liability Act. The group's assignment's direction of providing an opinion of whether the airport's continued operation appears sustainable supports course learning objective 8. Our group's opinion detailed that Dauphin Island is vulnerable to the effects of climate change. The economic development opportunities related to the expansion of the airport poses several risks and might be met with opposition from the community. The airport expansion and its associated operations threaten endangered animals. So in consideration with all these elements, it's reasonable to determine that the airport's continued operations is not sustainable and the expansion project should be reconsidered. All right, this slide was authored by Dossie. Our third group assignment demonstrates an understanding of learning objective 2. displayed on this slide by requiring students to compare intellectual property laws and policies to aviation and aerospace sustainability related copyrights, patents, and trademarks. 4 legal domestic law options were explored to determine how to protect the student's IP, intellectual property, to address the first module objective of outlining domestic law governing IP rights. The second module objective displayed on the slide was reinforced by determining that the trademarking mentioned in the assignment can be achieved through the United States Federal Patent and Trademark Office. The International Trade Administration offers tools for filing abroad for international protection in comparison. So one cool aspect to highlight, it was noteworthy to point out that both sides of the argument with described in this assignment in regard to the student's IP rights after their paper is published. A discussion with the patent attorney revealed that the student should retain their IP. The university's faculty would likely be prevented from capitalizing on students' ideas through restrictions or non-disclosure agreements. So if the university argued that the design would not have materialized without the guidance and information acquired at the school, students could respond that their tuition pays for these types of services. So any invention should remain the property of the students. So that was one of our main takeaways. All right, this slide was authored by Alyssa. Learning objectives reinforced by our 4th group assignment include learning objectives 5 and 7, as well as module objectives 1 through 4 through furthering understanding and familiarity of the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation. Additionally, the International Civil Aviation Organization's Buddy Partnership was reviewed, which further enables underdeveloped countries to comply with the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation. It was important to learn that there are plans to reduce emission levels that affect every country, and that the carbon offsetting and reduction schemes were developed to help all countries, but to highlight that developed nations need to put in the effort and resources to assist underdeveloped ones for enhanced effectiveness in these areas. All right, this slide was authored by Natasha. As innovations continue to develop within commercial space travel, it is important to understand what legal requirements will be needed to support the growth of this new industry and the impact it will have on the 3 pillars of sustainability. The main objective for this module's group assignment was to be able to understand the legal issues and sustainability issues that could arise from futuristic industries, specifically commercial space travel. It was meant to understand what decisive measures the industry can consider now to be able to prepare for some of the challenges that could arise in the future. Upon completion of our group's 5th assignment, the 1st and 2nd module objectives were reinforced, which involved understanding the shortcomings and laws relating to the sustainability of commercial space travel through identification and analysis. Additionally, this assignment reinforced the learning of the legal changes and future sustainability challenges that will emerge in the development of commercial space travel. All right, for our summarized group reflection, this group portfolio enhanced our perspective in what we achieved in this course. As a group, the main form of communication was a WhatsApp group that we created, that messaging application. All communications were clear in how to approach and distribute the workload among us. For each assignment, there was a new group leader who volunteered to guide the group in completion of the assignment. The remaining members would work on the portion of the assignment that was assigned to them. However, it was a collective team effort to make sure the goal and expectations of the assignment were met. For the most part, there was agreement in how to approach all topics. In a situation where one member had a better idea, all members of the group were open-minded and willing to share their opinions. The main challenge faced as a group were the different time zones and work schedules we all experienced, but ultimately we got into a good rhythm with everyone's schedule and our assignments were completed on time, and we're all happy with the performance of our group. All right, I'll go ahead and read each member's individual statements. So this is Natasha's. It was a pleasure working with the Planeteers over the past 9 weeks. All the members were collaborative, dedicated, and committed with diverse and rich perspectives and knowledge in addressing all the group assignments. This group portfolio is a great opportunity to have a retrospective on what we were able to accomplish in this course. It was great to have the opportunity to reflect and understand the connections to all the assignments and learning outcomes. Thanks, Natasha. All right, this one's mine. This group portfolio project has been unique in regard to all past experience in attending classes at Embry-Riddle. I hadn't had a group project like this before, so it's been great. I really enjoyed working with everyone. Every group member brought valuable experience and perspectives to each assignment. Everyone was respectful and responsive, and kind of touched on something similar to the group reflection, is that the most challenging part was the different time zones, but we all accomplished what was assigned to us, so that's great. All right, David says it was a pleasure to be part of this group. Each member demonstrated a willingness to go above and beyond to contribute to the projects each week. He mentions that we're spread out among the different time zones, so that was challenging. And then he says the WhatsApp chat function really enabled us to have as close to a real-time discussion as possible given the circumstances, and that each one of us contributed timely, relevant, and valuable points to our tasks each week. Thanks, David. All right, this is Dossies. Says this group portfolio is a demonstration of the collective abilities of all its members. Each student contributed diligently over the past 9 weeks to create material for this portfolio. The Planeteers were open to all opinions, so she did not experience any disagreements to the resolution of this activity. Thanks, Dossie. All right, and then Alyssa. It was a pleasure working with everyone in this group. Schedules would often conflict, but we always found a way to give the best work we could possibly give, and that everyone was very respectful of each other and worked great together. Thanks, Alyssa. All right, well, this concludes the Planeteers group portfolio presentation. It's been great interacting with everyone in this course over the last 9 weeks, and have a great weekend, everybody.